What's going on, you guys, and welcome to another episode of the Pond Chronicles. And today is all about rigging a new rig. Now, a couple of weeks back, I was on YouTube scrolling through some videos, getting ready to upload some more after I finished editing, and I found something killer. A video about a new way to rig a senko, worm, curl tail, however you want to do it, any of those worms. You can use this rig on. It's called the Inu Rig. A Japanese guy, I'll put the link below, to his channel. Check him out. Check out the original video. It is all in Japanese. I want to let you know that. So that's another reason I wanted to make this video for you too. It is in English. I'm giving to you English so we can get more people on making this rig. Now the rig is called the Inu Rig. And the whole idea about this, guys, is when you're in that water, you're throwing that water instead of your worm just sitting there and being all floppy like you want it to look more. You can give it more lifelike action. So when you're pulling it, it's going to go, instead of, like just floating, you're going to go like this, like a snake kind of strike type thing, squirming in the water, the way a worm should be used in fishing. It's about mimicking the real thing. So today I'm going to show you that version, but I'm also going to show you a version of it that I've modified a little bit. I hope you like it. Tell me what you think about it in the bottom of the comments, and let's get on it. All right, guys, there's a few things you're going to need to do this Inu Rig properly. Number one, you're going to need some fishing line. Right here, I'm just using what I had laying around the house. This is some fluorocarbon, 6-pound fluoro, just for intents and purposes. You're going to need some split rings if we're doing the regular version like I saw on the first video. But I'm actually going to change this up a little bit. You'll see why and how here in just a few more minutes. You're also going to need a set of weight of some sort, drop shot, bullet weight, split shot. For this intents purposes, I'm using a Nico nail weight. You'll need some super glue. You're going to need some type of tubing. So for this, I decided, well, one, I couldn't really find the tubing I was wanting to use. So I decided to think outside the box. So I went to Walmart and actually picked up a box of coffee stirrers. You can get 250 of these bad boys for, I think it was like $2. So plenty of tubing and stuff to make your different Inu rigs right. Last but not least, you're going to need something to put your holes in. And I'm using a paper clip. And you're going to need a bait, a worm style bait. Now for this purpose, something I use all the time is the Nico bass worm. Now the good thing about these two guys is they are hollow and they stretch, so they'll take a beating. So starting out, I'm going to go here and I'm going to just take and bend my worm over like this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my first hole right above the collar right here that you see here. So it's going right here. So I'm going to bring it like at an angle. And then my next hole is going to go right about here. Okay? So let's go ahead and do that. Again, I said I'm using a paper clip. Now the crucial thing about this is make sure you do it straight. Straight down, but I'm putting mine at an angle because it's going to help out in the long run later. So I went straight down just like that. Then I'm going to take the paddle tail at the end here, and I'm going to go just about to the end of the paddle tail, or the tail end right here. And I'm going to go straight down, just straight through, just like that. Now that we've done that, I'm going to keep it on this paper clip because it's going to come in handy in just a few minutes. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the stir here, and I'm just going to take and feed it on top of the paper clip, make it go through like a sheath, and push it through. So now it's on the stir. I'm going to do the exact same thing to the other end here. So now they are both on the straw. Okay, then I can take the straw off, or the paper clip out. I'm going to give it a little bit of room here because, for one thing, I'm actually going to take and put some super glue on here just to kind of hold it in place a little bit. Not a whole lot. So we're just going to take that, put a little dab there, Stretch her out a little bit. There we go. We're going to push it up, and I'm going to get it where it's almost flush. And again, I'm using super glue, guys, so you can get a little bit sticky. All right, so we got right here. We're going to do the next one. And I'm just going to take and push this one up over and get the super glue on it. And we're going to let this rest for about 2-3 minutes. All right, guys, now that we've been here, it's been about 5-10 minutes. I want to let it set up a good bit. And so I'm going to take my scissors here, and I'm actually just going to go cut it as close to the bait that I can on that side. And I'm going to repeat this all the way around on both sides of it. So what this is doing is it's creating a tube for your line to go through and allow you to get that good action, that good friction action. All right, guys, so here's the worm here. Super glue is pretty well dried on it. I've already clipped off the straw pieces off, and I'll leave them a little bit longer just to show you guys for all intents and purposes, but you can go ahead and trim those down a little bit more and go from there. But I'm going to take a nail weight as my weight, and I'm just going to stick it through the nose of the worm. That's a good thing about using these bass worms here from Nico. They are hollow, so they will float initially. So if you're using these, take in mind that you want to make these put a little bit more weight on it. I'm not saying you have to use the whole nail weight. If you do, you can use drop shot weights down here at the bottom, or egg drop, any type of other weight. And then I would just take and break off this part so it's fishing more or fit more flush on here. So after I've done that, I've got my line here in this hand, and I'm going to take my first hook right here, and I'm going to go ahead and feed it through there and just let it sit there for a minute. We'll attach it here in a few minutes. We're going to go through this hole, and then we're going to go through this hole. Just like that. All right, guys, so what's different here versus what was in the first video that the guy that initially created this one did, is he put a split ring down here at the bottom to help tie it on to get that extra movement. Okay, well, I'm going to modify this a little bit. Guys, I told you can modify this one. There's numerous ways you can do it. So the first thing I'm going to do is, instead of that split ring, I'm going to use another hook for, if fish comes and gives you a tail bite. If they hit it, misses, they're more apt to hit and get hooked up if you have almost like a stinger weight or stinger hook on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and tie this on. I'm going to tie it on with an improved clinch knot. Now that I've got the hook tied on, I've got the worm picked up in my hand, and I'm going to where this last straw is, right here. Okay, and I'm going to take and line it up with the eye of the hook with that straw, and I'm going to put the hook right where my thumb is at. There we go. And bam. It's right up here. I can pull it up a little bit more. And it's lined up with that last straw, just like that. So now we've got that one tied, and I'm going to do the exact same thing to this other hook. Take the hook, line it up with the straw, just like so. Get your eyeball spot of where you want to put your hook at. So we're just going to bring it down to about where my thumb is at here. My finger's pinched off. And I'll feed it in, and I'm just going to take and bring it on through. And it's lined up right there against the straw. Okay, so now that the rigging is complete, how is it different from the original? The original, again, he put a split shot on the end where you can actually hook a drop shot weight or something else onto it. But this way, you're going to take, yep, that did happen. This way, you're going to sit there and you're going to bring it. You're going to get that same action, and you're going to increase your hook sets because you've got 2 hooks on here, okay? Now, there are other ways you can take and spice this up. You can modify it even more. If you don't want to put the second hook on there, here's another one that I did earlier. Using the 1 hook method, and there's a split shot right there. I took a spinner blade. For this instance, I'm using a TRD spin, a tail spinner, and I've got it stuck right here, right above the last straw. So it'll give you some more action that way, more flash, more boom. Now, the thing about these Inu Rig that I figured out is you don't have to use it just for regular senko baits, worm baits. Now, you can use smaller worms, bigger worms. I mean, I've even got one right here that's a good 12-inch worm here that I could take, and you can use the same thing. Here's the cool thing about this one, though, guys. You can put 3 or 4 turns in it, too, to make it more wriggle, like a snake bite or something like, snake strike, something like that. Guys, there are other ways you can rig this Inu Rig. You don't have to just use it on a senko or worm style bait. You can also use it on a leech. You guys know I love throwing leeches. I've thrown them on the Tokyo rig. I've thrown them on the Jika rig, Ned rig, and drop shot. You name it. I love throwing leeches. So why not throw it on the Inu Rig? And I've done it the exact same way here, just like the first one here. 1 hook, 2 straws, and with the sink or the split ring is here, I'm using a small Jika weight, 132 ounce Jika weight. So it'll have the same effect. I mean, look at this, guys. Just sitting here. Money. The sky's the limit with this. So guys, what do you think? I showed you a brand new rig created to make a worm more lifelike. Do you think it'll catch fish? Honestly, put it down below. Do you think this rig will catch fish? I also gave you not 1 but 2 modifications that I did to it for 2 different worms to help spice and entice that bite more. 1, adding another hook down at the tail end, kind of like a stinger hook style, so you get more hookup chance. And 2, putting a spinner blade on the back end of it too. In the next couple of weeks, I'll be doing a full series on this, and I've got several other modifications that I'm working on too for it, and I'll do like an additional rig modification video, so stay tuned for all that and when I go and fish it. And remember, guys, think outside the box. You don't just have to use this on a senko or worm style. Hey, maybe on a lizard. Have you ever thought of that? That could be pretty cool. Or like I showed you also today, a leech. Anything's possible, guys. Anything's possible. And remember, a true angler never stops learning and always wanting to learn more stuff. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw today, if you want to check out some more hookup videos, me actual fishing, more rigging videos, unboxing, I've got it all here. Check the cards up here. There's some good stuff in there, guys. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It don't cost a thing and it helps me out, along with that thumbs up button. And last but not least, guys, leave a comment and tell me what you thought about it. How would you use this rig, and what setup, what modifications would you do to it? And also, so you can be one of the first people to know when the next episode of the Pond Chronicles drops and you don't want to miss out, hit that bell on the right hand side. And again, give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day, but teach him and he'll never go hungry again. Tight lines, everybody. Later.